So the last few days have felt different for me. And you know what it's been? The weather. I often tend to downplay things like the weather or sun because I think I'm a rational adult, that shouldn't really matter. And yet I seem to find deep down in my bones that, man, it does. On the day when it finally snowed in this dry January and then there was sun that was around it, it just felt good. And it was a reminder for me about the seasons and the inevitability of change. And it just gave me hope. It gave me hope because we sometimes feel like what presently is what will continue forever. And in those days and seasons that can feel barren, we presume that this day will be every day. And that's what makes things like depression hard, right? Is because we assume that how I feel now is how I'm going to feel forever. But that isn't true. It isn't true for our mental health, and it isn't true for our church either. We can and should celebrate and have hope, knowing that any given day is just part of a larger journey and story. And that the story is one that's marked again by hope. Last week was our first week back to an in-person service, and I have to say, man, that felt good. Yeah, we had safeguards in place, and to be honest, we're probably gonna have some form of safeguards for a while yet, but it still gave me hope. First has always been a place that has existed for the people and things beyond its walls. It's what drew our founders here many years ago, and that isn't going to change, but it gave hope in the comfort of doing the familiar things that provide some stability and to help us do the important work of the Great Commandment that we hear about in Matthew 22 and the Great Commission we hear about in Matthew 28. Friends, we're all engaging with this time in the season differently, and that's okay. We want to invite you to return when you feel ready, and to know that when you are ready, we are ready. And in those things, we have hope for good days, for better days, for knowing that the best days are yet to come, days marked by hope and grace and peace and new manifestations of the kingdom around us. Friends, grace and peace to you this day and this week as you live out in hope.